So welcome back, you guys. Unless you're still here, thank you for sticking around. So now I got a book review for you guys. It's called Tress of the Emerald Sea. It's a cosmic novel by Brandon Sanderson. He's one of my favorite authors right now. That's just killing it. He's got a slew of books. I think I've mentioned him before in one of my reviews with the Infall series. Excuse me, the Infall Kingfall series. And then I have also been reading the Wheel of Time book series as well. This is in that same vein. So Brandon Sanderson has built this huge universe of characters and magical monsters and all kinds of things. And in this universe, there are different worlds where I guess it's like dimensions or realms where the characters can kind of overlap and interact with each other. And in each of these worlds, there's a pantheon of gods that kind of they were together at some point and they've separated and went to these other realms, and they kind of connect all this universe together in these different books in these different worlds. So this is one of them. This is one of the newest books that he did in his Kickstarter series. He did a Kickstarter series of 4 secret books that he was working on behind the scenes. And Tress of the Emerald Sea is the first one. It's about this girl named Tress. She lives on this island with all her family and these other characters, and her friend. I think it's Charlie. I forget exactly, but she lives there. She's happy. It's nice and quaint. And Charlie's like royalty or something. He's a prince. He gets sent away by his weird, evil, maniacal father or something, and she goes to go find him because apparently he gets entangled into this situation with this witch sorceress lady. That apparently is evil, and she just casts spells and curses on people just because she likes it. She has fun doing that. So she's a brave girl. She decides to go out. She stowaways on a ship. And on this ship, that's where the majority of the story takes place. It's a fairly short book. I think it was only about maybe 14, 15 hours worth of a read or a listen if you use Audible. And in it, so she gets on the ship, and spoilers, all this is going to be spoilers, so if you don't want to, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but I definitely have to give some details here. She gets on the ship, she meets some characters, and this is where you get to learn and love some of these characters that's on here. They have a deaf character who, I thought it was like, how are you going to do a deaf character in a book? But they really make it interesting with some of the magic that they showcase in the story. There's a particular magic system in here called spores. Apparently when the spores are come in contact with water or other substances, the spores will grow out like tentacles or like vines, and they'll grow out and like attack people. It can be crazy. Think about a plant that grows like 1,000 times fast. It could like a vine could grow out and puncture you in the eye or stab you in the stomach or something, or just kill you. What if you had a spore seed or something that fell in your mouth? It could be like dust, like little seeds that fly around. What if it fell in your mouth and the water from your tongue hit the spore, and then it could grow out of your face or something and kill you? So in this world, spores are a really violent thing that they come in contact with, and it's even in the sea itself, in the water. So there are different colored seas that have different kinds of spores. Emerald for the green that you see here, the highlight of the book. There's red spores, black spores, crimson, like a rose quartz. It's all kinds of spores and stuff. They do different things. So she comes on the ship. She's a young girl. I think she's like 18 or something like that. She has to navigate her way through stowing away on a pirate ship. She deals with the pirate captain. Some of the characters dealing with trust, dealing with being clever. She's a clever girl. She has to be clever, smart. She's still very sweet and sometimes shy in a lot of ways, but then brave in other ways. There's a little bit of action that happens, especially toward the end of the book. There's even more action that shows her cleverness and her smartness. So some of the things just kind of going on the line here. I think the characters are great. Like I said, it's an easy kill of a book to knock out, and I think the pacing is good enough where you can get through it without feeling bored or feeling like, oh, this is taking too long. When is it going to wrap up? I will say at the end of the story, though, a lot of it takes place. So the first part of the book, she's on the island, maybe like 1 or 2 chapters. And then all the chapters happen on the ship. And then maybe like the last 2 chapters, she deals with the sorceress. And it wraps everything up. I was like, man, that kind of really sped up at the end there. Maybe like a spore, right? It grew 1,000 times faster. But I would say the characters are great. The pacing was pretty good. The fantastical part of the story was also interesting. I thought it was a different concept that Brandon was playing with here. You can definitely tell this is not one of his strongest stories, but it's probably something he was thinking of. And he was like, I can make a story out of this. Here's 500 pages. And there you go. I'm not gonna add anything else to it. I'm not gonna add any more gods and monsters to it. Just this nice little thing that happened over the course of like a month or 2. And there you go. So I thought it was good. I thought what happened at the end, the way it wrapped up with the solution, was nice. And I gotta tell you, it got me excited to read the other 3 books in his secret collection that he released. And I definitely highly recommend it. I will say a lot of the stories and the books, I'm just thinking about this, reviews that I do, are going to be about stuff that's not that bad. I'm not going to really give you a lot of bad books or stories or movies and stuff on here. Not all the time. I will watch a bad movie or 2 and I'll let you know, but this was definitely a good one. It's definitely a good one. If there was anything bad I would say about it, it was probably that it was not as full as one of his other stories. But I have to say, though, this is probably more like a young adult novel versus the stuff that he usually writes is more of adult-driven novels that are so complex. It's like it can really be a brain buster sometimes. His other novels are like 40-hour books. This is like a 14-hour book. So just saying, it's like I could have used a little bit more or maybe a sequel. Like I said, I liked a lot of the fantastical magic stuff that comes in it. But I was like, maybe it could have had a couple more cool monsters in it. But for what it is, it's good. Check it out. Yeah, give it a read or listen.